Welcome back to this fabulous channel. Welcome back to the City of Sin. If you all are new to the channel or stopping in for your first time, my name is Ryan. I will be your host for all of these epic adventures in Las Vegas. We are outside of the Mirage by the Volcano. We are going to do a quick walking tour. We're going to walk towards the Cosmopolitan today and check that out. We have some gambling adventures going on in the Cosmopolitan that I wanted to do. So that is what we are going to do on this lovely Saturday afternoon here in gorgeous Las Vegas. Like I said, I can't complain. This weekend it's supposed to be mid-70s all weekend and fairly calm for the wind, which is absolutely perfect for me and this adventure. So right now we are directly across from the Venetian over by Madame Tussauds right now. So if you want to check that out, that is actually a wax museum where all of the wax figurines are in full scale. So all of the artists that they did the wax figurines on are 100% to scale in real life with how tall and the measurements of all of those people as well. So right now we are outside the Mirage by the Volcano like we had said. If you guys want to check this out, the Volcano show does run daily. It runs from 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and 11 p.m. is the last show. So it's 4 times a day. It starts at 8 p.m. and goes till 11 p.m. here at the fabulous Mirage, and it does run daily. So that's where you can get a good seat, is right along this bar area where it's all barred off, but get here early because it does get busy. A lot of people love to check it out, and that Volcano does get pretty hot. You can actually feel the heat when this thing goes off all the way across the street. So right there is where the main volcano shoots up at the end of the show, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you guys all know, Steve Wynn actually built the Mirage a long time ago, and it is still one of my favorites here in Las Vegas still today. A little bit of history about the Mirage. When the Mirage was actually built, they were considering doing a second tower. The second tower is the reason why the tram exists between the Mirage and Treasure Island. The idea was eventually scrapped to do its own separate tower and did its own separate resort instead. So they were going to do an additional tower to the Mirage, scrapped that plan, and did a completely different resort. Now, when they did that, they did sell it to Phil Ruffin shortly, not too long ago or whatever. That's what I'm trying to say. But Phil now owns the place. I wish he would bring back the pirate show outside. I think that would be an awesome rendition to that there. Over to the left is the Outback Steakhouse, where I've enjoyed a few meals here in Las Vegas. It's always a great place to grab a bite to eat, and every time I go there, it's really good. Harris is across the street from the Mirage as well. Like I said, Harris is actually pretty decent now. They did update the smell in Harris, so it's actually bearable. It's not smelling like an old hospital, and it's actually pretty decent. So it is pretty nice to be able to go back into Harris and enjoy it once again like we used to in years past. Like you can see over to my left, that is a stop for the Deuce, and you can see that the Deuce is actually running up and down the strip. We have talked about that in prior videos. It actually is going here in Las Vegas. So that is good news if you are trying to get up and down the strip. Right now we are walking under the beautiful Mirage Sign. This actually lights up at night and kind of sparkles with the way they do the lighting on it, which is cool. The rum bar is up here ahead. You can catch a really good drink up at the rum bar. They mix them really strong, but they are fairly expensive. But the way they mix the drinks makes the price well worth paying. And if you want to check out the Mirage, you can certainly turn right here and go down that little entranceway. That will take you into the Mirage with the cool little dolphins that you can snap a picture of. Those will be off to your left-hand side as you take that way to go into the Mirage. Now, as we come up here, we are coming up towards the Caesars Forum Shop. I'm going to point out the entrance to the Caesars Forum Shop up here a little bit ahead, and we can sort of check that out. If you guys want to see a video of the Caesars Forum Shop, I certainly have done one in the past. I've actually done a few of them. So if you want to dig back through the videos, you can check that out and see all of the videos that I've done of the forums. Like I said, hair is over there, and it is bearable. Good news to report. They did this big LED sign outside of Harris, which I think is really cool, but nothing to compete with the LED sign that the Caesars Forum Shop had put up a while ago. And actually, when you walk underneath that Caesars Forum Shop in the summertime, you can feel all the heat being pushed out from the fans all underneath there. So that thing does get fairly hot in the summertime, and it is really, really hot when you walk underneath that with all the exhaust fans that they have. But once you get towards the underneath of that sign over to the right, that will be where you can enter into the Caesars Forum Shops. This will take you to the bottom shop, and this will be like where that big 4-tier entry point is. And you can see that in the video of the Caesars Forum Shop. I did capture that a few different times, but that's the way to get in there. We're not going into the Caesars Forum Shops today. We're going to continue our way on the outside of Las Vegas Boulevard. We're going to take this all the way down to the Cosmopolitan today. So like I said, we have a gambling adventure at the Cosmo that we're going to check out on this Saturday afternoon here in Las Vegas, and with many other things that we have to accomplish yet this weekend. So much time, or so little time with so much to do makes it difficult to get everything accomplished all in one venture. But we are fast approaching this cool little statue area. Now, this was interesting to see in the abandoned Las Vegas. They actually drained all these fountains, took all the change out of all the fountain areas. So that was really, really different to see everything vacant like that. Over to the left, you have the link. They have a cool little bar area that they did right by the casino. So if you want to check that out, I know they have a bunch of TVs in that little bar, so that might be a good Sunday spot to check out if you're staying at the link. I'm not sure if you have to make reservations on Sunday or not with how busy it is or not, but that would be interesting to see. I'm going to give you a shot here of this beautiful fountain because this is one that you can't miss. If you haven't taken or snapped a picture of this, it's well worth doing. Capturing a nice photo in front of the fountain is always a good idea. The Neptune Fountain inside the Caesars Forum Shop is a really good place to grab a photo as well, where they do the show. Not sure if they're doing the show. I know it was closed the last time I did the reopening video of the Caesars Forum Shop, so that was closed the last time. They weren't doing the show, and they had pretty much all the seating areas closed off from anybody trying to sit down, and they tried to limit areas that people were touching and things the last time we were going through the Forum Shops at Caesars. So where you see that big LED sign over to the left, that will actually take you down the Link Promenade. So if you are curious as to where that is, you can go left there. There's tons of cool little shops for you to grab souvenirs and gift ideas for your friends and family. There are also tons of restaurant options down there. They have all sorts of different things for you to try out. The Yard House is down there. They have 180 brews on tap, which is very, very cool to see if you've never been to the Yard House. It's at the end though, kind of over by the high roller part. So that is one of the things that you should definitely check out is the Link Promenade. If you've never been down it, it is certainly cool to see, but there are tons of things to see in Las Vegas that are cool. One of the favorites is coming up on my right is Caesars Palace. With how big this resort is, it is absolutely crazy to think that they built this place a long, long time ago, and it is still standing and still amazing people still to this day. It's crazy when you see the pictures in the 70s from this resort with all the things that they have updated and changed. So you'll definitely have to check out my Caesars video. But if you all remember, the last time we were in Caesars, we did get shut down for filming, which is kind of a shitty thing, but it happens from time to time. We can't always win them all, but we can certainly try. So like I said, right over there, beautiful shot down the Link Promenade. They have the Fly Link zip line, which you can also check out as well. Similar to Slotzilla downtown off of Fremont Street. You can actually see that that will zip line you down the Fremont light awning as well. Pretty cool sight to check out. They have a third zip line in Las Vegas as well. It's over by the Rio, so that is kind of cool to check out. If you want to check out all these zip lines in Las Vegas, I haven't done one of them yet, but I've been interested to try every single one of them for sure. It's on the bucket list, like I said, ever expanding. Never seems to get checked off or accomplished. Over across the way, beautiful Margaritaville. They have an awesome gift shop in there, so if you want to grab gifts and stuff, Margaritaville is a good spot to do it. The Flamingo as well is directly across the street, and with the way the sun is reflecting, that bright pink tint to the windows is shining on the beautiful boulevard. It makes it for a pretty sight to see in the evening. Pretty blinding right now when you're trying to walk down the boulevard. One of my favorite light up signs in Las Vegas is this one over by the Flamingo right up front here, and the entrance point to Flamingo. So I've done a few shots of that light up sign, and they always turn out really good because it does make for a beautiful shot with the camera. We are fast approaching the cool little fountains here at Caesars, so once we get up there, I will certainly show you that. Give you a nice pan over here of the Flamingo. Try and get some of that hideous sun out of your guys' viewing pleasure. Sorry about that. I picked a pretty bad time to film this. I should have filmed this earlier where the sun wasn't necessarily pointing in our face the whole time. Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen is straight ahead, so if you were looking for that or wanted to check that out, you certainly can do it over there. These statues are kind of weird. Half human, half like lion with wings. I've always thought those are interesting for sure. You can check out these fountains. A lot of people love to take photos right in front of this place. It makes for a good photo capturing spot. Straight ahead, very far in the distance, is the entranceway into Caesars. So when you're coming here via taxi, they'll go ahead and drop you off right at the front doors, or if you're coming here driving, just valet park right up there. They do have the parking garage that is on the back by Frank Sinatra, so if you're driving here, you could always park in the back too, which is what I always tend to do when I come to Las Vegas. But we're going to continue our little stroll down Las Vegas Boulevard here. Like I said, we are going southbound towards MGM Grand, but we are actually going to stop at the Cosmopolitan. We're going to do a little bit of gambling, enjoy ourselves at the Cosmo, and then finally work our way back to our hotel and casino. And on this adventure, we're staying at MGM Grand. It's been a pretty good stay so far. The Executive Queen Suite is pretty spacious, and so far I am enjoying that. Nothing to complain about here in the city of Sin, and if you are complaining, this isn't the place to be, especially when you're trying to enjoy vacation and have a good time. Beautiful flamingo signs. Too bad it wasn't nighttime so you can see those all lit up because they are absolutely gorgeous looking. The Cromwell is now open, so if you guys want to check out the Cromwell, it is alive and well, and there are several guests that I have seen go into the Cromwell. One of these days we'll try and check it out. We'll see if they've adapted to their filming policy or if they've still stayed strong to the anti-filming policy that they had in play a few years ago when I tried to venture in there and film. But you know, as times change, some things lax and some things don't, so that's one of the things that we'll have to check out on one of the next adventures. Right now we are directly below the pedestrian sky bridge. This will take you across Las Vegas Boulevard and drop you over towards the Cromwell entrance. So if you want to take that, that's over to my left. You can just get on there. And over to my right, that is where you can go towards Caesar's Palace as well. So there's plenty of different ways to get over the boulevard or get across from here to there. So just pay attention to these sky bridges. Some may be a better crossing point for you than another, or necessarily not. So it all depends. These will make your life a hell of a lot easier, that's for sure, especially when the escalators are working. It makes for a very lovely time to get through traffic without having to deal with traffic on the boulevard like you have to deal with when you get closer to Paris Drive and Las Vegas Boulevard, or even one a little bit even further at Park and Las Vegas Boulevard. Right now this intersection here is Flamingo Las Vegas Boulevard. We are going to head right. We're going to head up the stairs. Hopefully the escalator's working. I think this one is, so we're in good luck. I know the escalator going down inside Bellagio is broken right now, so we're probably just going to take the stairs on the outside when that gets up there. This horse statue is really, really cool. Like I said, it's cool to see the water and fountains and stuff going within these. When it was abandoned, it was really weird to see that all emptied out and all the change cleared out, so it's good to see things kind of returning back to normal here in Las Vegas. Like I said, things are slowly starting to get back to normal. As you see, more and more people are wearing masks here in the city of Sin, which is a good note because the more people that comply with that mask mandate, the quicker that Vegas can return to normal and start being that fabulous city that you and I all remember and enjoy coming to. I remember the very first time I came to Vegas, I instantly became hooked and booked when I came to this place, and I've been booking trips ever since, and it was one of those things that I'll never forget, and it'll always be a favorite in my heart, that's for sure. So awesome things to see over here. There's plenty of shops as you go into this way into the Bellagio. Like I said, the escalator going down in Bellagio is already broke, so there's no sense in walking through Bellagio. Last time I was in there in June, they told me to stop filming and stop recording, so I got in trouble in the Bellagio. I also got in trouble at Caesars as well, so that kind of sucks, but what can you do? Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. That's why it's better just to get permission from the casino ahead of time before showing up. Makes your life a lot easier. Makes their life a lot easier as well, because then they don't have to deal with the stress and things like that, and you don't either. So it makes everyone's life a little bit easier to try and make those connections beforehand. But we're going to turn right here, much like we did when the city was abandoned and these places were all closed. You couldn't go through Bellagio, so we're going to take this little staircase here. This is Flamingo right over to the right. As you can see, this Saturday afternoon, the traffic is absolutely jam-packed busy. So it's one of the things that I hate about the weekend in Las Vegas is all the traffic. The traffic is definitely for the birds. I enjoy the weekdays for the traffic of driving. I enjoy the weekend when I'm out here filming on the Strip just because it's a little bit more lively, more people to see, and more things to do. So we're going to make our way back towards Las Vegas Boulevard here. We are right underneath the pedestrian sky bridge by Caesars and Bellagio right now. Directly across the street you can see awesome Bally's. They do have the body exhibit at Bally's if you want to check that out. They do also have the Sterling Brunch Buffet. It is an expensive one, but they do have all-you-can-eat lobster on that buffet too, which is really, really cool to check out. So the next time I hit that up, we will definitely have to bring a camera and film that with all of these Las Vegas adventures. But there's so many dining options and so many things to choose from. It makes it difficult to pick where you're going to go and what you're going to eat here in Las Vegas. So it's always one thing to keep in mind. Make a list of the places that you want to check out and cross off on your list, because like I said, those lists seem to ever grow and never seem to get accomplished. Right now we are going to make a stroll down Las Vegas Boulevard. We are directly in front of the Bellagio Fountain Show, or Lake Bellagio as you all know it as, and that's, I think, officially what they named it on Google Maps. So if you want to check that out, that's what they call it here. They have tons of little shops and dining options all along Lake Bellagio. I know they have a nice little steak restaurant that's there, that they have a little button that you can press when you sit at the table, and when you press the button it actually manually shoots off the fountain. So that's kind of cool, but I did hear that spot that did have the button is rather expensive. I think just to sit there or to make a reservation, it is several $1,000s, which is unfortunate. So I won't be pressing that button anytime soon, but hopefully one day I'll be pressing the button to make the fountains go off outside of Bellagio here. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon here in Vegas. Like I said, can't complain about the weather. I seem to have lucked out on this adventure for sure. Couldn't ask for much better weather when you come to Las Vegas. During the summertime it can be a little hot, and during the winter months it can be a little chilly, so sometimes you just have to look at what the weather forecast is going to be and dress appropriately. Like I said, Vegas can range from anywhere being 30s and 40s in the wintertime to being well into the 120s in the summer. So it does happen from time to time. So just checking that weather forecast and making sure everything's good for you and what you bring can make or break your trip. I always recommend comfortable shoes too in Vegas, especially when you're going to be walking a lot. Like I said, these casinos, they look so damn close, but this Lake Bellagio is probably several city blocks long. So be sure to remember to wear very comfortable shoes. And if you don't have comfortable shoes, a little tip and trick that I always used to use is just wear multiple pairs of socks. It tends to cushion your feet a little bit better on this concrete floor than typically what you normally have when you're going through. The carpeted areas in the casino, I always try and walk on those as well to give your feet a little bit of a break. Right across the street you have beautiful Paris. As you can see, the Eiffel Tower poking out through the trees there. Right now in the shade it is a little bit chilly. In the sun it is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful though. Right now we're gonna make our way over to the Cosmo. I can see the sign poking out through the top of the trees, so that means we're getting close, which is always a good thing. I love the Cosmo, like I said, for gambling just because of how YouTuber friendly they are when you're filming your slot play. Another YouTuber friendly casino is Park MGM, as well as the D, the Golden Gate, and Circa. So Circa, I am very, very excited about getting the video out for you guys. I did that on Friday night. I went to Circa and checked that out. Huge shout out again to my awesome host, Richard Wilk. He's an absolutely amazing guy. He was able to pull some strings and get some things accomplished for me that I wouldn't have thought to be able to be done. So thank you again for allowing us to film Circa, and thank you again to Derek Stevens, the owner of the place, for allowing that as well. We'll have that video out here for you guys on YouTube for you to enjoy, but be sure to sign up on Patreon. You'll get exclusive access and early access to these videos before anybody else on YouTube. So you have to check out Patreon. If you guys want to help out the channel, it certainly helps out a bunch. Like I said, it brings more content like this of this fabulous city for you guys, and it makes it more available for me to be able to come to the city when it's a little bit easier for me as well. So great shot of Lake Bellagio here, beautiful Bellagio in the background, as well as the additional tower to Bellagio on the left. Cosmo and the second tower are straight ahead over to the right, and then over to the left, like we said, was Paris, and then Planet Hollywood is over here as well. So it's one of those things that this is a great corridor. This is probably one of my favorite in Las Vegas to stay on, just because of how much action happens within this corridor in this block. I'd probably have to say that basically Flamingo to Harmon Avenue is my favorite spot on Las Vegas Boulevard, just because it's right by the fountains, it's right by the Eiffel Tower. It always seems to be a great place that's happening on a Friday and Saturday night, and tons of things to do. So if you're ever here on the weekend, definitely give this little corridor a shot. It's usually jam-packed with people when COVID isn't happening, and when COVID's happening like it is now. You'll see quite a few people, but people are more socially distanced than what you would see back in Vegas when it was crazy jam-packed with people and you could barely walk and everybody was shoulder to shoulder. I hope Las Vegas quickly returns to normal. I'm ready for normal to happen, so I know you guys are too. So that's one of the things that I love to do, is film these adventures, film these videos to you to bring somewhat of a normalcy back to your life. I know some of you are unable to travel due to certain conditions and things like that, so I'm happy to be able to come out to the city, film all of these sights and scenes and things for you to check out. So thank you for coming along on these tours. Also really, really excited to bring this new 4K at 60 frames per second to the big screen. I know you guys are excited to see it as well. It's been one of the things that I've always been interested in doing. I just never had a big enough computer or enough processing power to make it happen. Now that we have the computer to edit all of these videos, I'm excited to announce that this will be the new quality that you all can expect to continue. Right now on Bellagio Drive, Las Vegas Boulevard, heading just past the Bellagio entrance, where you drive up to the Bellagio entrance, or if you're leaving the Bellagio, you'd be coming down this way. Parking garage is up that way, so if you're self-parking, you would have to go right down where we just walked by, and the self-parking here is absolutely atrocious. I think they should build an exit that goes off of Frank Sinatra instead of Las Vegas Boulevard, because when you're here on a Friday and Saturday night, it is almost impossible to get out of the Bellagio without that light. So that's one of the things I think Bellagio needs to redesign, but who am I to tell them what to do here? I'm just a guest enjoying the place and enjoying Las Vegas. So over to the right, that will take you up to the Bellagio. It's one of the ways to get in there. Like I said, we're skipping the Bellagio today. We're going straight over to that beautiful place right in front of us where you can see the pie kind of rotating on the top. We are going into the Cosmopolitan today. I'll probably walk in through the main entrance. They'll give us a little bit longer in this strip walk video and give you a little bit more to see. Like I said, Deuce is running, up and running. Good to see that people can get up and down the strip using the Deuce, as I used to do in years past. But now that they have things like Lyft and Uber, it does make it a little bit more convenient, a little bit more quicker just to do that instead. So this is one of the ways to get into the Cosmo. If you are looking to park in the Cosmo, it's right after this pedestrian bridge. You take a right to go to the self-parking garage here to be able to check that out and park here over at Cosmo and enjoy yourself a nice evening. We will continue our way down a little bit further, but always wanted to take the time to say a huge thank you to all the Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for making these videos possible. Like I said, without you, a lot of these things wouldn't be able to be accomplished. Also, thank you to all of you for taking your time out of your day and out of your schedule to watch these videos. I know sometimes it's not necessarily the easiest thing to sit down and watch a 26-minute video, but I certainly appreciate it if you've made it this far. If you haven't, I can totally understand that, but thank you again for taking your time to watch the videos. Be sure to like these videos if you like the content of the videos, if you like Las Vegas, if you like things like this. Like these videos, they go higher in the search rankings, so that way we can make more content like this by getting more viewers subscribed to the channel and bringing up the revenue of the channel to make these more possible. But thank you, all of you, for tuning in for today's adventure. You all know who I am. My name is Ryan here with 4K Vegas. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure as well as the many more that we have planned in the City of Sin. But as always, until next time.